Welcome to Best of America by Horseback. I'm Tom C. Years ago, one of our first TV shows was here at the Spirit of Suwannee Music Park in Live Oak, Florida. This is along the Suwannee River on the Florida-Georgia line. Like many other shows, it was recommended by our viewers. We always enjoy returning to trails we've ridden in the past and to visit the people and communities that surround them. This was one of the very first Best of America by Horseback trails we rode, and the strong family business is still continuing to grow with as much love and hard work today as it was then. While some things have changed and some people have passed on, we are able to remember and celebrate their dedication and spirit once more here at the Spirit of Suwannee. This is a wonderful destination for trail riders to visit and enjoy. Miles and miles of trails along the Suwannee River give unlimited opportunities for you to ride. You can camp close to your horse, and the owners are horse people, and they have made sure that trail riders and horses will always be welcome. We hope you'll enjoy this special episode of Best of America by Horseback. We'll be right back.
On this episode of Best of America by Horseback, Tom C. and guests are riding with Seminole Feed at the Spirit of Suwannee Music Park in Live Oak, Florida. We'll showcase and explore all of the exciting opportunities this location has to offer their guests. From peaceful trails along the tea-colored Suwannee River to live music performed year-round in the park. Located in northeastern Florida, the Spirit of Suwannee Music Park lies right along the historic Suwannee River that runs from southern Georgia through Florida and into the Gulf of Mexico. The park was opened in the mid-'80s, and after being purchased a decade later by the Cornett family, it has been a unique and beloved attraction for travelers and music lovers ever since. The park covers over 800 acres and is a treasure trove of activities and sights to see while visiting, including RV, horse, and tent camping, miles of trail riding, hiking, canoeing, and kayaking, white sandy beaches, churches, playgrounds, disc golf, and several concert venues where they host live music and popular festivals throughout the year. Guests can bring golf carts to drive around the park and participate in many themed fun parades as well. It is a perfect place for a vacation and has something for everyone. The hammock of live oak and cypress trees surrounding the park is a beauty to behold. For many visiting history buffs, this area played a significant role in early American history and the foundation of our Navy, using the dense live oak wood for our ships like the USS Constitution that is still floating today. The park is also home to the largest bat house in the United States, which holds hundreds of thousands of bats that help control the insect population and conserve the species. When guests arrived for the weekend, they were welcomed by Best of America by Horseback host Tom C. and staff for a meet and greet with friends and fans and to kick off the event. Guests joined us in the pavilion for light refreshments and a question and answer period with Tom, as well as representatives from the Seminole Feed Company who were sponsoring the weekend event. We enjoyed good food, shared stories, and the companionship of so many friends and family joining us for the weekend. Saturday morning, our guests rode out with Tom and Pat to ride over 20 miles of sandy trails through ancient live oak forests and along the historic Suwannee River. Guests could also ride more than 50 miles of trails in the nearby conservation area next to the park. When we come back, we'll talk with Roy Cornett about the history of the park and the attractions that bring in guests from all over the world.
We're having a great time on the banks of the famous Suwannee River here in Florida. You stay tuned. We'll be right back with Best of America by Horseback.
Best of America by Horseback is riding in Live Oak, Florida at the Spirit of Suwannee Music Park with over 180 guests and our sponsor, Seminole Feed. During the weekend, we spoke with Roy Cornett, the eldest of 6 sons of the original owners Gene and Bob Cornett, about the history and impact of the park, with all the events and attractions that bring people here from all over the world.
Some years ago, I believe it was this very spot that I interviewed your mother.
Yep.
Tell me about her. She was the inspiration behind a whole lot of this.
Mom was a special gal. She died in February of 2015 down here in Florida, and this park was her dream.
This place had been closed for several years. Y'all came in here and opened it up and made it one of the choice locations for people to come with horses and visit.
Yeah.
Wasn't easy though, was it?
No, it was a marginal deal for years and years, and it's just here recently it's really gotten to be where it's viable in a financial way. And that's by not really the horses as much as it is these big huge music concerts go on in here that paying the freight, but you get, I don't know, last I heard there's 60-some full-time employees in here, and it takes a lot to keep that much overhead going.
Some of the musicians that have been here would be who? Names that air folks might know.
You name it in the way of country music. I think you mentioned Willie Nelson the other day, and Winona, and I'll leave that. You name it, country music has been here.
Now you have a little room here for people to spread out. How many people can attend a music show here?
Well, the biggest event they put on, I think, is called Halloween, which is the Halloween weekend. And they limit the number of tickets they sell. I think it's 25 or 6,000 people.
Now when people come here, whether they are staying in their horse trailer or just coming down here with the horse, what do you have available for people to stay in? What is the layout?
They've got what we call the park models here. I think Tina told me there's 35 park models they've got to rent out. And then of course we got, the last count I heard was 1,500 electric water sites. That's been a while. If I had to bet, there's probably 1,500 electric water. They've added on since then. They started putting in a lot of 50 amp plugs. If I had to guess, it's probably in the neighborhood of 1,800 now, as many they've added. So it's pretty limited, but when you bring 26,000 people in here, I mean, I came there for Halloween year before last, and if there was a wide spot big enough for a tent to fit, there was a tent there. I saw a brand new Corvette back there, the backside of the 80 acres, hung up in the mud.
Now you have a store here.
Got a store here.
Music hall.
Yep.
A restaurant, cafe.
Yep.
You have, do you have the golf carts that can be rented?
Yep. Got a canoe outpost down here by the river.
You have a beautiful pond there, and your mother wanted a chapel there. Tell me about that.
There's a chapel there that Mom was involved in deeply, and there's 6 stained glass windows that she and her buddy Gretchen Sword in Kentucky made.
They made them.
She and Mom made those, and then there's a big one on the other end that I think they had somebody else involved in. But there's a little antique pump organ in there, and there's a walnut podium or whatever you call for a preacher in there, and that a fellow made for him. It's a pretty special little chapel.
Now, for a moment, tell me about this river. It flows from where, and where does it come out at?
It originates out of the Okefenokee Swamp in southeast Georgia, and all the decaying plant life is what gives it that dark color. It's the tannin that's what makes that dark color. It's extremely clean water. You know, people think, see how dark it is, oh, that's dirty water. No, it's extremely clean water.
And it goes all the way to?
Goes to the Gulf of Mexico.
Now, are there any dams along the way, or you can canoe from here?
You can canoe all the way. I don't think there's any dams on it at all.
In your own right, you ride horses and do quite well at it. Any particular place that you like to ride in addition to being here at the Spirit of Suwannee?
All the time what comes to mind is years ago, I've ridden in 34 states now. I've been to all 50 states, but I've ridden in 34. I called Garth Rumsmoke and his wife Kathy at the time and said, of all the places you guys have been to, where's the best place to ride? Kathy says, Grand Tetons. And I said, okay, when do I need to be there? End of June, 1st of July. So we went to Tetons. I've actually been there a couple times. That's a pretty special place. I like that actually better than Yellowstone because there's not as many people there at Tetons. But I've been to Yosemite, I've been to Arizona. I've ridden. The only places I haven't ridden much is I'm missing Minnesota down to Texas, the Midwest. I've not ridden out there yet. I need to get that done.
What is it about your family that is driven to help other people, but also to follow the American dream? I mean, it's just something that drives you folks, that just makes you folks kind of special.
The first thing that comes to mind is the lesson Mom taught me, and I guess all of us, is that you need to appreciate the little guy. You know, not just the guys, not the big sticks, but the little guys, the ones that sweep the floors and do the grunt work and stuff. They're just as important to making things happen as the big cheese is. I'm in the real estate business in a pretty big way in Kentucky, and I think that lesson has served me pretty well. On folks that work for me and things, I genuinely appreciate all of them. And I think that's probably one of the larger lessons I learned.
What's in the future for this place? People who haven't been here, what can they look forward to in the future besides coming here to ride horses and the music? What's on your plan? Every time I come, the treehouse is a big deal, and you have to see it to understand it. We're showing clips of that. But what's in the future here?
That's, you know, my brother James, who's number 5 son, actually owns the place now, and so that's kind of James's department. But you know, the primary financial driving force here is these big music events, and the horse thing is, I guess, kind of my thing, and it's small potatoes that comes to the overall equation. But I think the family in general wants the horses to be a continued part of it. As I get older and start backing off work in Kentucky as much, I'll spend more time down here in the winters and hopefully create a little bit of community for old farts like ourselves to come down here and take advantage of the weather.
Are you open year round?
Yes.
The ideal time to come here is when? Well, let me say it's 30 degrees below zero right now up in the Midwest.
Yeah.
And you're standing here in almost shirt sleeves.
Yeah. You know, to me, this is ideal riding weather. You come down here this time of year and it's not warm enough to, you know, challenge your horses. You know, you bring them down here from Kentucky, and if it's 80 degrees and go back to Kentucky, it's a problem. But it's cool enough here where I can ride here a couple of weeks and go back home, and the horses are all right. But I like it. I think it's perfect for what we do. It's just to come down here when it's zero at home and be able to ride, and it might frost at night, but then it gets up in the 50s and 60s daytime. That's hard to beat as far as I'm concerned.
The Spirit of Suwannee Music Park is home to 2 large tree houses, the Spirit Tree House and the Mother Tree.
You're located right here on the banks of the Suwannee River. A lot of history to this river, isn't it?
Yep.
And it sure adds to the beauty of this place. You've had some other things that have gone on here. You got a tree house here. And it's not for 5-year-olds. Tell me about that tree house.
We've got pretty serious, actually 2 tree houses here, but the most recent one was built in 2015. The TV show called Treehouse Guys approached us. We've got a tree here, I want to build a tree house in. So long story short, we made a deal with them. A fellow named Michael Garnier out of Oregon was involved in it. And they did it over a tune of about 3 months. And we call it the mother tree now, in honor of Mom. And it's a pretty special tree house.
Well, now people can stay in it, but I understand it's an attraction. People just want to go see it and take tours of it. So when they come here, they can tour it?
Yep, yeah, on weekends, on Saturdays and Sundays, we've got a fellow that comes in every weekend and opens up for tours.
So if it's going to rain one weekend a whole lot, it's just stay in the tree house.
Yeah, I guess you can do that.
It's a beautiful place, and the family has also done a great job of conserving so much of this beauty, and we admire that greatly. It hadn't all been paved over, and when you come here, you can just drop right into the woods and the hanging moss, and just enjoy every bit of it. I appreciate talking to your mom on this spot some years ago, and I appreciate talking to you. You and your family are first class, and we just love you guys, and we just like being here, and we hope to come back again.
Appreciate you guys being here and spreading the good word.
We certainly will. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Best of America by Horseback is riding with Seminole Feed down in northern Florida at the Spirit of Suwannee Music Park. The weekend ride was sponsored by Seminole Feed, and representatives joined us for the weekend events. They talked with guests about their products and family history of the company that's been serving quality horse feeds and supplements for over 75 years. Just like us, they all own, ride, and love horses. And Best of America by Horseback was honored to have them join us for this fun-filled weekend of trail riding with our viewers in their home state of Florida. If you'd like to learn more about Seminole Feed, you can contact them at their website, seminolefeed.com. John Dalziel, who has an extensive background in equestrian training and law enforcement, and who is currently the trainer for the Lake County Sheriff's Posse, hosted a class on bits and bitting. Guests learned about the correct fitting of bits, types of bits, and how a bit works, and how to select the right bit for their horse. If you would like to know more about riding at the Spirit of Suwannee Music Park, log on to their website, musicliveshere.com, or call them at 800-224-5656. You can also visit them on their social media pages. For a DVD copy of this episode, call our office at 540-829-9555. or visit our website, bestofamericabyhorseback.com.
I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Best of America by Horseback. I'd love for you to ride with us or travel with us or visit with us wherever we're going. You can see our schedule on our website, bestofamericabyhorseback.com. Visit us on Facebook, and I hope that you'll consider riding with us in the future. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week.